Rest stop, mile 214. 7 marks. That's what I counted the last time. 7 thin little scratches carved into the metal of a bathroom stall door off Highway 9, at a rest stop most people forget exists the second they drive past it. 3 months later, I stopped there again. There were 8. Same stall, same shaky handwriting scratched into the paint. One new mark, like something added it while I was gone. My name's Dale. I've been driving trucks for 11 years, and I need you to understand something before I tell you the rest of this. I don't scare easy. Not anymore. Mile 214 sits on a stretch of highway most drivers avoid if they can help it. Not because it's dangerous, exactly. At least nobody official ever called it dangerous. It's just wrong. No cell service for almost 40 miles either direction. The rest stop itself looks like something out of the 70s. Cracked concrete, one flickering light over the entrance, vending machines that never seem to be plugged in. I started using that route about 4 years ago. Shorter haul, better pay. My dispatcher never asked questions. And honestly, back then, neither did I. The first time I stopped there, I didn't think twice about the bathroom. Grimy, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. That specific rest stop silence. You know the kind, where even your own breathing sounds too loud. I noticed the stall door had some graffiti. Nothing unusual for a place like that. Just scratches. Little vertical lines, grouped in 5s, like someone was counting something. I counted them, out of boredom. 4. I didn't think about it again for almost a year. The second time I stopped at mile 214, it was raining. Bad visibility, the kind of night where you just want 4 walls and a locked door for 20 minutes. Same stall. I don't know why I always used that one. Force of habit, I guess. Truckers get like that. We like our routines. I look down. 5 marks now. 1 more than before. I remember laughing it off. Told myself some kid probably passes through here messing around. Or maybe I just miscounted the first time. That's what your brain does. It finds the easy answer, because the hard answer is the one that keeps you up at night. So I didn't think about it. Not for a long time. Not until the 3rd visit. 2 years passed before I stopped there again. New route, new schedule, but a delivery got rerouted, and there I was. Mile 214. Same flickering light, same silence pressing in on me from every direction. I told myself I wouldn't even look this time. But I did. 7 marks. 2 more than the last time I'd counted. And this time, I noticed something I hadn't before. The marks weren't random. They were in a specific pattern. 4 together, tight, close, almost rushed. Then a gap. Then 3 more, deeper, carved harder into the metal, like whoever did it was angry or scared. I remember standing there in that stall, staring at those scratches, feeling something crawl up the back of my neck that I couldn't explain. Something ancient. Something that knew somewhere deep down that I was looking at more than graffiti. I told myself I was being stupid. Truckers get superstitious. It's the job. Long hours, empty highways. Your mind starts playing tricks after enough sleepless nights. I finished my business and left. I didn't stop at mile 214 again for 3 months. I wish I never had. 3 months later, same route, same rest stop, because my new schedule left me no choice. I told myself this time would be different. I wasn't even going to use that stall. But something pulled me toward it. I can't explain it better than that. Like my feet just knew where to go, whether I wanted them to or not. I opened the door. 8 marks. 1 more. And that's when the cold really hit me. Not the temperature. Something deeper. Something in my chest. Because I realized something I hadn't let myself think about before. I was the only one who ever used that stall. In 4 years of stopping there, dozens of times, I had never once seen another driver go into that specific stall. Not once. I'd seen the parking lot full of rigs. I'd seen other drivers in the diner next door. But that stall, that door, it was always empty. Except for me.
So who was adding the marks? I started asking around after that, quietly. Other truckers, at diners, at fuel stops along that same stretch of highway. Most laughed it off, but a few got quiet. Real quiet. One old driver, must have been pushing 70, driven that route for 30 years, told me something I haven't been able to shake since. That highway swallowed people, son. Whole rigs gone. No wreckage, no bodies, just gone. Always right after they stopped at mile 214. I asked him how many. He looked at me for a long time before he answered. Nobody knows for sure, he said. But if I were you, I'd stop counting those marks. I didn't understand what he meant. Not until I did the math myself. That night, in my cab, I couldn't sleep. I kept running the numbers in my head over and over. 4 marks, my first visit. 5 marks, my second. 7 marks, my third. 8 marks, my fourth. My stomach dropped. The marks weren't counting strangers. They were counting me. Every single time I stopped at that rest stop, every single time, the number went up by exactly the amount of times I'd been there. 4 visits, 8 marks. Not people who vanished. Visits I'd made. Something had been tracking me, watching me, counting me. Since my very first trip down that highway, 4 years ago, before I even knew that place existed. And here's the part that still wakes me up at 3 in the morning, heart pounding, sheets soaked through. That old driver, the one who warned me, he told me one more thing before he walked away that night. The marks don't stop at people who disappeared, son. They stop right before. hours, not a record.
22 years ago, she began, my husband Frank and your uncle Elias found an old silver mine shaft out on that ridge, abandoned from decades back. They used to explore it together, just for fun, you understand. Boys playing at adventure. One morning, Frank went out alone, told Elias he'd be back by noon. Her hands trembled in her lap. He never came back. The mine shaft collapsed while he was inside. It took 3 days to find him. And Duke, her voice broke completely now. Duke was Frank's donkey. He used to carry Frank's tools out to that mine every single morning. Every morning, without fail. After Frank died, Duke wouldn't stop walking that same path. Elias tried to explain it to me once. He said Duke wasn't lost, and he wasn't confused. He said Duke was standing guard, making sure that ground never took anybody else. Marcus sat there, frozen, tears sliding down his face without him even noticing. He wasn't senile, he whispered. He was protecting us this whole time.
And I don't know what happens when the count finally catches all the way up. I just know I'm never going back to find out. But some nights, driving alone, headlights cutting through nothing but black highway for miles and miles, I swear I can still feel it. Something out there, still counting. Still waiting for a number that hasn't come yet.